Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
The Israelites.
The Israelites.
The Israelites.
The Israelites.
Oh, yeah.
Most High Christ bless.
1:30
We rise deep, lies to third deep fried. Yay, 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 yay. Boots shine, 12 drives, front lines, war time. Yay, 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 yay. Some more. Hey, boots on the ground, war zone, yeah, them troops in your town, this truth has been found. God calling men, ain't recruiting no clowns. We teach, souls convert like the roof coming down. Whoa, information fabricated. Don't believe the hype and don't get vaccinated. Biblical smoke, you know we calculated. Greedy dog passes, just try and get compensated. Dance around questions, moving latitude. Deception on a whole nother magnitude. So we here, reverse iconoclasm these past 400 years. Who dare step to us? We move with no fear. We rise deep, lies to.
So there was an ad, I don't know if you're familiar with this ad, that said that the most dangerous place for an African American is in the womb. What are your thoughts on that in terms of women's rights to choose?
That's not my decision. You know what I'm saying? I really don't have much opinion on it. Like, it's really for the woman to decide. Like, I'm really not for it, but different circumstances and certain situations, you know, can cause you to make certain decisions. You know, like, if she was forced against her will or this, that, and the third, then she definitely has the right to choose. You know, like, that's such a touchy topic, you know, so.
There was an anti-abortion ad, and it said the most dangerous place for a black person is in a black woman's womb. What are your thoughts and opinions on that statement?
In my opinion, I think it's the most safe place.
How so?
Because there, especially in the black community, like, there is nothing more. When you think of something that's nurturing and warm and loving, what do you think of? You think
Your
of
mother.
your mom, your grandma, your great-grandma, whoever. So even like outside of the room, I've worked in child care schools, whatever. It is shown that 9 times out of 10, the children cling more closely to that motherly attention from the African American teachers. And so I definitely disagree with that.
Okay.
As we know, the abortion rate in the African American community far outshadows any other nationality. Can you tell me why do you think that is?
I'm not sure why. I don't know whether it's economics. I don't know why it's lack of education or training. I don't know why. But I think the more that we pour into our young folks and educate them from the onstart, there may not be a decision to want to know, I have to have an abortion because I don't have the funds, I can't take care of another. I don't know. But I do think it starts at the base. And I think we need to take our young women, our young men, and we need to educate them about family matters and the consequences of the choices we make. But the ownership is on us.
Yes, ma'am. Outstanding point. Second question, and this was kind of direct. Do you think that abortion is considered murder? I told you these were going to be tough questions.
You sure did. You should have told me those in the beginning. So, I'm not going to make a judgment on that. I think God is the ultimate judge. I can't make a judgment. Whatever choice we make, the Lord is the one that's going to be the evaluator. He's going to be the one we got to stand before. So I can't really answer that.
Is the woman's rights to choose considered murder?
Are we talking abortion right now? Okay. No, I don't believe so. It also depends on the point in the pregnancy. But in the end, it honestly doesn't really matter because it's the woman's body, it's the woman's choice, it's the woman's situation, and every situation is different. And, you know, I'm pro-choice, and being pro-choice is the right to choose, not, you know, pro-abortion. So, yeah, just the right to choose, really.
Understood. How about you, Megan?
I think it depends, for me, mainly on the trimester that an abortion may occur, just because there's a certain point where, you know, depending on the point in time where an abortion is made, they're going to have different methods of doing it. And I don't know, just for me, thinking of like having abortion really later on just kind of haunts me because of the fact that there's a child in there that's almost completely fully developed and they're just kind of being torn out and, you know, ripped apart to me. And so that makes me really, you know, that's kind of hard for me to imagine. But I do know that there are certain circumstances where people really do need abortions. And so, again, it's, you know, it's not everything I have a lot of information on, so I can't form a complete opinion on it. But I don't, to a certain degree, I don't really think that it's murder.
Do all Black lives matter? All Black lives matter to us. No, I am going to, because there's a beautiful black child growing in that woman's womb. Let us help you. Young lady, you're always going to be the mother of this child.
Hey, man, watch out, watch out.
You're always going to be the mother of this child. You'll simply be the mother of a dead baby. Let us help you.
Hey, man, don't get to following us, bro. Don't get to
It's a public sidewalk. I'm going to walk. I'm not going to touch her. I know you don't.
Hey,
we're going to walk down the sidewalk.
Back up.
You need to man up, sir, and you need to love this white woman, and you need to love this child.
You need to give me some space before you get fired on everything. I don't give a...
Would you consider women's rights to choose murder when we're talking about abortion?
I don't. I think a lot of people like to, first of all, for a safe abortion, they don't normally do it after a certain amount of time, and that's when the baby isn't necessarily considered a real fetus yet. So that part, but also for the simple fact that a woman should be able to choose off of anything. But when I think of like people who are choosing for abortion, I think of people who may have been sexually assaulted, or, you know, children who have been assaulted by older people. And I feel like a lot of people scream, you know, pro-life, but nobody is sitting here waiting at the door to take care of these children and to be there for the mental health of these mothers after they have these babies. If they didn't want to or could not properly take care of their kid, no one's there when the kids are getting ready to go to foster care because they were made to keep the children, and now they're living without their mom, dad, or whoever. So I definitely think it's something that is a good choice if they need it.
Do you consider, or is a woman's right to choose, is it considered murder?
Don't know. You know, I guess it depends on your morals or your religion. Okay. It can be viewed that way by certain people. I honestly, my personal opinion, like, I don't know if I can say it is or it's not. Right. You know, but again, it just depends on the situation and the circumstance.
Do you think that there is a difference between early term abortion and late term abortion?
I look at it, me personally, like, I think that the earlier the better. But at the same time, people don't know why people are getting abortions. It could be, I know people who never showed in a pregnancy and they didn't know. So it could be you didn't know until you were too far. Or it could simply be because it's between you choosing to keep your baby or you survive. So I think that whatever is best for you and your family, but mostly you, is the best choice to go.
So the next question that I have for you, Dio, is there a difference between early term abortion and late term abortion? Is it the same? Is there a difference?
I mean, it's the same to me. Okay. You know, like, whether it's done early or whether it's done late. You know, like, if I get killed at 5 or if I get killed at 55, it's still the same result. Okay. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much time passed. So
I know you know all about the Black Lives Matter movement. Why do you think it is that the Black Lives Matter movement doesn't speak upon or go over the topic of abortion in their parades, their riots?
I think in all communities it's a touchy subject, but especially in the black community, especially with how much religion is like emphasized in the black community. And so I think because of the fact that it's so looked down upon in general, but definitely like because of religious reasons, I'm thinking maybe that's the reason they don't touch on it as much, but yeah, I can't say for sure, but.
You're familiar with the Black Lives Matter movement. We all are. So the Black Lives Matter movement, they protest a lot of things that happen within the African American community, primarily police brutality. So my question that I have for you, sir, is this. Why doesn't the Black Lives Matter movement protest against the high abortion rates within the African American community?
If I was part of Black Lives movement or Black Lives Matter movement, officially, I could answer that. Okay. You know, I don't know why they pick and choose what they protest and what they don't protest. It's like you don't know why certain people celebrate certain things that they do or why they don't. Mm-hmm. You know, that's for whoever represents that actual organization to be able to answer.
Can a black woman who has had an abortion be an advocate for the Black Lives Matter movement? Meaning, can she be for the Black Lives Matter movement if she's had an abortion?
Absolutely. I don't think that takes away from anything because, again, the way I see it, until you take your first breath on this earth, that's when your life starts. That's a life. I'm not saying that it's not a life inside the womb, but there's no reason that a black woman cannot support the Black Lives Matter movement because she's black and she has a life and she's screaming for herself and every other black person on this planet that she's screaming Black Lives Matter for. Yeah.
That's fair enough. And my last question, last one, I promise. You mentioned the Black Lives Matter movement earlier. Yes. This is another tough one. Can a woman support the Black Lives movement and still have an abortion of a black child?
Wow. That's going to be a tough call for them. Again, I can't answer that because that's going to be their own inner self to make that determination. I don't know the answer to that. Yes, ma'am. I don't want to evaluate that for someone else. Okay.
All right, come back close. Them questions wasn't that bad. Come on in. Look, I'm going to get 2 scriptures, and then I'm going to let you go, okay?
Okay.
All right. Give me the Jeremiah first, and then we'll go back to the Proverbs.
Okay. This is, let me get the scripture.
Take your time.
I got you. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee.
And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee.
It says, before your parents came together and consummated you, I knew you in the womb. Before you were actually physically here, the Most High God already knew us, right?
I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
So we bring this out just to show that the life actually does exist prior to it actually physically being born.
Absolutely.
The Most High God said he formed us and knew us in the womb. That's the word. We can't argue with that, right?
No, you can't argue with the word.
And this is the last one I'll bring out of Proverbs. Thank you so much for your patience.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 16. These 6 things doeth the Lord hate.
So it's talking about things that the Lord, our God, actually hates.
Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. Verse 17, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
That's what we want. Read that again.
And hands that shed innocent blood.
And it says, and hands that shed innocent blood. Now, this is what the Bible's, this is not my opinion or yours. The Most High God said he hates that thing when innocent blood gets shed. All right?
That's the word.
All right.
I don't argue with the word.
Yes, ma'am.
God bless each and every one of you.
God bless you. Right. This is Cuss on the Street, IUIC DC. Thanks for tuning in. Shalom.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone, 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.